like Dan said, Jesus Christ is the embodiment of the full 5 expressions that we read about in Ephesians chapter 4. And so Jesus Christ himself is the beautiful and perfect expression of all of them. And we as his body, when we come into deep communion with him and allow the Lord to melt us together with first love for him, where he's at the center and his face and his voice is at the center, then there's a beautiful harmony, and it's not in contradiction, but actually complementary. And it's painting a more beautiful picture of Jesus's face and releasing a more full, anointed and powerful, impacting, voice of the Lord, word of the Lord to a generation or to a nation. So I definitely believe that.
I think the beauty of this event and this gathering is that what I saw brothers kind of surrounding themselves around one another, and when it came time for the one to minister, the other gifts kind of came around them to elevate them, affirm them, celebrate them. And I think it's an encouraging thing for a generation to see us supporting one another and really doing all we can to see each other glorify the Lord, and as a result, see that diversity shine. Yeah. And you can see that how appreciative the people were.
I'm listening to you guys and realizing it definitely takes humility it takes humility to see the need of the different gifts and different expressions of who God is. It's so easily to get caught up in what burns in your heart and to get consumed by that, and it's a beautiful thing to be consumed by that, but it takes humility to see the importance of that we need each other, we need one another. And then, of course, that there needs to be the burning desire to see Jesus glorified, because unless there's the fullness of expression of who he is, he won't be truly glorified like we need to see him. So we need to have that desire to really see Jesus glorified. It's not just us walking in what God's called us to do.
In your vineyard, you forget to look into the next row.
Right.
And ask your brother how he's doing in his. I never forgot that. Somehow my vineyard's better if yours is better.
Yeah. And let him do what he does, and let me do what I do, and together the whole thing is supplied.
It's true. It becomes a lot easier.
The problem is that there are so many people in ministry trying to do things they're neither gifted for nor have the grace to do. And that's a formula for burnout.
How do you know what you're gifted in?
I think it's what, I always tell young people, whatever you think everybody else should be doing, that's probably what you're gifted to do.
Oh, that's good.
I think there's something special when we realize that the kingdom is a much bigger place than our personal preference. Because we all have personal preference and likings and things that we tend to, draw near to, whether it's style or delivery or, content or like certain subjects or, we all have like in the streams even like people that we tend to try to follow or listen to or, podcasts, books and things of this nature. But to see the many voices, but yet in a setting like that, when you have such diversity, usually there's an overriding or like an undercurrent of like a competitive vibe, of everybody trying to prove their place, of everybody trying to, lift up their stream, and the superiority of like the revelation that's come through a certain position or perspective. But to see that, even so much so like it is in, John 3, whenever his disciples come to him and they're like, everybody's leaving us, man, and they're going to Jesus. And he's like, no, a man can only receive what he himself gets from heaven. You know what I'm saying? But to realize men that value heaven above like perspective in the earth, that are willing to join one to another and to say that which they hear the Lord saying, and to lay down like all the competitive vibe and all of the things that can bring division and cause us to be so separated, lobbying for position and trying to leverage one session against another and, trying to prove our place. Bro, it was amazing to see, Jesus at the center, as Dave said. The focus of it all. Reason, even in the name of the conference, the Jesus Conference.